But first, it's been revealed that the passenger plane that crashed off the coast of Indonesia had experienced problems on its previous flight, even though it was brand new. The Lion Air flight went down with almost 200 people on board. Emergency workers have recovered personal items and some human remains from the sea. But the aircraft itself had not been found, nor the crucial black box, which should provide clues about the cause of the crash. Indonesia correspondent Anne Barker reports from the port in northern Jakarta, where the search is based.
At first light, another search and rescue boat leaves Jakarta's main port for the site where flight JT610 came down. Specialist divers are now working alongside sonar equipment and an underwater drone to find the Lion Air plane and the bodies of those on board. They've sighted the plane's tail but still can't find the fuselage.
We want to find the main part of the plane, as the black box usually lies not far from it. Once we find the fuselage, I'm sure the flight recorder won't be far.
Authorities say they've already recovered all the debris and remains floating on the sea surface. Wallets, passports and ID cards of the passengers and crew among the wreckage brought to the port. The sheer number of them drives home how many lives have been lost. Each name is recorded and their photos shown in case they're recognised by friends and relatives. Human remains have also been taken to a police hospital for the difficult task of identification.
Families of the missing are dealing not only with the shock of losing their loved ones so suddenly, they're also struggling to understand how the crash happened. Lion Air says the new plane had encountered technical issues on its flight the previous day, but didn't say what the problem was.
Outside Jakarta's military airport, distraught families provide officials with details of their loved ones.
There is a birthmark on her right elbow and also one on the ear.
In the full gaze of the media, they're not expecting good news. At the police hospital nearby, where the post-mortem exams will take place, families are gathering to give DNA samples to help with the identification of remains. This young man, an only child since the death of his 3 siblings, has now lost his father as well. He normally avoided Lion Air, but yesterday was in a rush to get home.
The 29th of October is the province's birthday and also my mum's birthday. That's why my dad took the Lion Air morning flight.
A calculated risk, perhaps one of many that ended in disaster, as the families deal with the grim testimony of how many lives have been lost.
And Anne Barker joins us now from the port in northern Jakarta. And Anne, Lion Air has confirmed that this plane had technical issues the day before the crash. What exactly did the company say?
Well, Catherine, we know that this same plane had an intermittent power loss in the flight on Sunday from Bali to Jakarta, especially at the start of the flight. The technical logs suggest that there were problems with unreliable instruments in the cockpit, particularly on the pilot's side of the panel, and that he was even forced to hand control of the plane to the first officer. Now, Lion Air says they carried out the right checks after the plane landed in Jakarta, and they resolved those technical issues and ultimately deemed this plane was airworthy to fly the next day.
So, Anne, when do we expect to learn what caused the crash?
Well, ultimately it's going to depend on finding the black box or the flight recorders from the plane. Right now, as we speak, there are hundreds of people scouring the ocean offshore from here. Army, Navy, Air Force personnel, search and rescue. There are more than 30 ships that are scouring the waters as well, desperately looking for the fuselage of the plane and, of course, that black box. That search will continue overnight. It's a 24-hour search, and until those recorders are brought in, we won't be able to confirm whether indeed it was a technical issue that caused the crash or something like pilot error or some other unforeseen circumstance.
Anne Barker reporting from northern Jakarta. Many thanks.